I just got a number. Who knows? Let's see who this is. Hello, caller. You're on the line now. How are you doing? And who is this?
This is Jose Martinez.
Jose Martinez.
Hello?
How are you, sir? Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. I wanted to call for a long time, and I just got the nerve to do it. And I didn't know how to use the phone to get online and talk to you guys. I just have a message. I became a believer of the Mandela effect, and it gave me strength to believe in there is a God, because I found out how powerful God is, the supreme creator is. And he showed me the Mandela effect, what truly is. And I wanted to answer Fizi's questions about what really the Mandela is, if I can.
Sure, go for it.
Okay. When I was little, I ate Fruit Loops with the Fruit, Fruit Loops, just like everybody else remembers. But I was there. I ate Jiffy peanut butter. I remember all that. I watched the Sinbad movie in the 90s, which never existed. So I am affected with the Mandela effect for years. And I saw how people are giving credit to Satan that came to my house and changed the Bible under my nose, from the lion shall lay down with the lamb to the wolf.
Sure.
To me, I couldn't believe it, because I believe in the supreme creator. I know his power, and it's against his teachings about the Bible that the word shall never change. But people are saying that the Bible changed. The logos change. I mean, how can we change all the logos in one night, from the Ford with the little loop pigtail? I call it the little pigtail. How can that be? It's impossible. I've been listening to your show for many years, and one that you don't understand is, how did South America move to the right 1,500 miles, and it's almost touching Africa? That is crazy. It would take millions and millions and millions of years for that to happen.
Yes.
I don't believe CERN did it. I don't believe Satan did it. I don't believe none of the logos change. This is the answer that I want to give Busy, and I promised her I was going to call in and make a fool out of myself. Please don't throw those tomatoes at me.
No fools here.
You're doing good.
Okay, Fizzy. Okay, and I told you that the Mandela effect is not about changes. It's about you seeing the changes. The changes are just indicators that you are the one that moved to a different place. That's why these shows exist. Every time you see a Mandela effect change, you're not looking at a change. You're looking at a different animal, a different map. You're looking for different things, not changes. So I'm trying to help people understand that. Don't get scared. This is the Mandela effect was created by the supreme creator, and I feel it in my heart 100%. And that's why I'm calling. I'm trying to make people understand that this is not a bad thing. It's a holy spiritual thing. God wants us to know that he is powerful and he's alive. That's my message to all the Mandela effect community, because they're not changes. You're just looking at a different item, because you're the one that changed. You're the one that Jehovah, the creator, moved you to this place that we're at right now. Your avatar. These are the teachings from Deo Dufay, Carols of the Milky Way. He was supposed to be at the IMAC convention, but he dropped out. I sponsor his channel, and this is what we believe. We found this answer 4 years ago. We try to help people, but we don't. People take us as we're going against their beliefs. We're not.
Yeah.
We agree about the changes.
Mm-hmm.
We understand the changes and everything, but people are misunderstanding that Satan did it, or CERN did it, or the D-Wave did it.
Yeah.
No, it's the Supreme Creator that's creating this event. It's called the delusion.
Right. Yeah, I agree. And like I said, at least on my channel, I've listened. I never tried to claim I know anything as far as 100% with this thing. I've racked my head around, all of these things that are going on. And from day one, I've been saying to people who have been claiming that, Satan's changing the Bible, CERN's changing the Bible, and all that. I'm like, no, it's not. No, that was my message all along, was we should be looking at that Bible very closely and looking at the changes and what profound meanings they have in your life. Because if you remember it one way and now it is a different way, you can be, that's where you should, look at that message very closely. I say I was the first one that talked about Revelations. I said, in my world, Revelations was the revealing, the revelations, the reveal. Now it's the revel, R-E-V-E-L. Well, if you break the word down, revel is a party. Revel is a celebration. Okay. That's the end of the book. And I find it to be funny. It doesn't even sound. It doesn't even grammatically make sense that it would be even written that way if it's the revealing. If you understand Revelations, right? So that in my opinion was a major change, and I didn't get many views on these subjects. I spoke about them. But look, I know where you're coming from with this. And like I said, at least here, we're not going to judge anything you have to say about, your thoughts and your ideas. People may agree, people may not agree, but you're allowed 100% to have, your thoughts on the matter and your opinion. And like I said, hey, you know what? We're all in this together. That's one thing for sure. And we're all just trying to find the right, the answers to all this. I think ultimately we will get them. Okay. Through God, we will get them. But here's the thing, while we're going through this tribulation time, okay, this to me is a very, very, a difficult time to be in right now, but it's all part of our spiritual awakening for us. That's why the Mandela people, the true people of the Mandela effect, the ones who have taken this, and it's really hit, close to home. It's really something that they feel. Okay. This is a feeling. It's not like, oh, okay, something changed. Well, let me just get on with my day. No, we are profoundly shaken by this. And those people out there, they're profoundly shaken. We're very few in number. So it's very, it's very strange how it's just, we're dotted all over the world. We have people from Australia listening tonight. We have people in Germany listening tonight, and God knows where else in the world. And then, of course, those people are just like us. We are, very moved by this. So why are we so connected to this? So those are the bigger questions.
We were chosen. We were chosen to be here to help this planet. That's what I believe. Everyone that's affected with the Mandela effect was chosen to be here. We were transferred 75,000 light years away in a blink of an eye. To me, our bodies are still there, but our mind was transferred to the Orion planet. That's why we're looking at a different Bible. Not change. You're just looking at a different Bible in a different avatar, because the heart moved. It didn't move. You're inside of a different avatar with the heart in the middle. The lungs are bigger. The liver is on top of the stomach. That's impossible.
Things are different
Your
here.
Your body cannot change.
Well, I'll tell you, you're, and I only bring up these facts because these are what I've experienced in 4 years. Okay. I remember literally the day, looking at the sky and seeing it change. Okay. I remember the man who reached out to me, Bill Bill reached out to me, and Bill remembers, and he thought I would think he was crazy too. He reached out to me. He was visibly shaken. Okay. Yeah. Bill remembers watching a video of me. Okay. Speaking about the JCPenney Mandela effect. But he remembers he says, Dan, for me, it's always been JCPNNEY. Okay. But I'm going to tell you, I watched the video. I was sitting there with my, we had some guests over at the house, and we had your video on the TV watching YouTube, and your video came up. We were looking at Mandela effect videos, and you're one of the first ones. He says, we watched your video, and you said that it was in that video, it was JCPNNY. And I said, well, that's my old reality. That's what I remember. He says, yes, but he goes, that's the thing is you were saying what happened to the E. So I was saying it in reverse, and I thought, oh, this is crazy. You're telling me you saw a video of me making a video of the reverse of what I made here now in the now. He said, yeah. Yes. And I said, okay, that's absolutely bizarre. Well, then he said, we looked it up, and at current times it was just the Y and Y. And we were so shocked. And then we did a flip flop. He goes, a week later, it went back to EY, and we're here. And I said, well, that's really strange. Why? Okay. So, I thought, well, maybe this guy's pulling my leg, or, he's trolling me, or, I thought maybe there's something weird going on. Well, I spoke to his wife, and I spoke to his wife's sister, and I got confirmation that these are just regular folks who experienced a very strange event in the Mandela, what we call a flip-flop. And, yes. But here's the odd part. They also said that I was a part of the other world that I remember, at least the world that I had a memory of. Apparently there is that guy who was here. Somehow we, and this is the only way I can describe it. It seems like me and this other Dan did a little flip flop. Right. Okay. He went there. I went here. Okay. So, and your theory of how things are working out here, that's my one. I can add that to the, put that on, and just say maybe there's some validity there because of what he experienced, but I don't know for sure. But yeah, I'm willing to hear. Hey, I'm willing to hear everything, and sift through it and find out what is the truth.
Can I play you a little video from Mikio Kaku? It's 16 seconds.
Sure. Yeah, go for it.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Okay, hold on. Let me.
You're still screen sharing too, by the way, brother. You have been this whole time.
Oh, right. I can just shut that off. Yeah, sure. I guess he's going to play an audio, right?
There's a multiverse.
Okay, yes, universes. Sir. Yes, sir. It's Mikio Kaku.
And that's where string theory comes in.
String theory.
String theory takes you before the Big Bang, before Genesis itself. And what does string theory say? It says that there is a multiverse of universes.
Okay, Mikio Kaku, I just found this video by chance. It says that string theory, it explains that there's a multiverse. I'm not trying to preach. I'm not trying to change anybody's mind or anything. This is on my own experiences. I'm looking for my own spiritual journey, just like everybody else.
Sure.
And I respect that. And I found this, and it was like, wow, scientists say there's a multiverse. What if we have different avatars and different Earths, simultaneous, parallel timeline, one timeline, same time? That's why you're having flip-flops. I have flip-flops with Fizzy's name. I call her Fizzy with the Y, but she said, no, it's never been that way.
Oh.
Now last week we saw Fizzy pop with all capitals. And I said, no, it was Fizzy, and then P was capital, the F was capital, and the rest were little letters. That freaked me out. And that proves that I saw Fizzy in another Earth, in a different avatar, in a different place. That's why the flip are happening.
There's something weird. I wonder if we don't, like, sometimes we talk about the shifts, I've talked about it with my crew. I've talked about it on air, and I say, sometimes I feel like we're going through a shift. Like there's a sense about the
Exactly.
ear ringing and the things that we've all come to know as the shifts. I remember I was taking out, and this is just a strange little side note. Okay. Don't ask me why I think this is so significant, but it's it's a lot of times it's the small little details in life that are the most significant to an individual.
Yep.
But for me, I'm just going to explain. So Friday is trash day, and I'm walking the trash out, and I just had a memory. I have a memory, and I don't know why I didn't I didn't just really stop and go, what the hell? But let me explain. I have the bins that you put the trash in. I was bringing my bin out to the curb. Okay. Now, at one point, the trash people were taking it, no problem. And then I received a note on the bin saying, we will no longer pick up your trash if it's in a bin. And I thought to myself, well, that's just really ridiculous. Why wouldn't you just take it out of the bin and throw it in the truck? And that way the animals don't get into the trash and litter up the neighborhood. Things like that. You know, my thinking is that would be the correct thing to do, you know, put it in a bin. However, I was told that they don't want to pick it out of my bin. They want to just, you know, grab it from the ground or whatever, or it has to be accessible. Okay, whatever. So I stopped, you know, doing that. I know it sounds, just bear with me. This story gets better. Okay. So one day I walked outside and all my neighbors and everything in my neighborhood had bins. All bins everywhere. And I thought to myself, why in the hell am I living? Like I saw it, but I was just, it didn't dawn on me that, well, my first thought was just a typical normal, like, you know, lack of understanding of Mandela effect reasoning was, well, maybe something changed, city ordinances or something, you know, like, but then I realized as I was taking the trash out last Friday, there are no bins. What happened to everyone's bin? You know, so for a minute, for that 1 week where I noticed, I mean, I don't know how long it was, but you know, for that whatever time period, everyone was putting, like, they had the blue tall bins, like everybody, like it was a thing. And then now they're not there anymore. Nobody has bins. People are putting their trash on the curb like they normally did. And I'm saying to myself, well, is this sort of a slight change? You know, is this sort of something happening here where, you know, you have certain things that are we shifting sometimes? Are we moving constantly? Yeah. What's happening here? Why are these changes taking place? You know, and are we moving? That's a good question. Is it me and as an individual,
yes,
changing and you know, and is this for me? Is this particular journey, you know, specific for me so that I can understand the maybe a greater understanding of what God can do? Am I supposed to listen? You know, before the Mandela effect, public speaking was one of my biggest fears. But it comes a time in a person's life where you throw away all those fears and you just know that it's time to speak up. You know.
Yes.
I knew at that moment during you know, basically April 11th, 2016, that night, I remember that I needed to get online and tell the world that something major is going on here. You know, that I knew that it was time to say something. And I had spent 20 years covering all types of conspiracies and turning over this stone, looking for truth here, looking for truth there, trying to figure out what all this meant. And at some point I just realized that, okay, now I never had the feeling or the urge to speak about anything. 9/11, fake shootings or whatever, all that stuff, you know, people used to talk about. Never really, it wasn't my cup of tea. I was just an observer. But when this happened, I absolutely was 100%. I've never been more sure that something major just happened in my life. And there I was. And felt like I was thrust into a brand new world. And as I watched and then more things started to transpire, and I was just blown away by it all and just in utter shock many times, brought to tears many times. You know, I just came to realize Well, I have, and I think about it like how and Noble and I were discussing this earlier, and I said, you know what's amazing about the Mandela people, the people who really feel this thing, who really understand it, who really get it. Man, we have handled this by the grace of God with such, I mean, it's such understanding, and I'm so proud of these people out here who've, because honestly, we don't always get along, or we have a little fighting here and there, but for the most part, the people we've handled this so good, considering what we're experiencing and what we're saying, and we're like, okay, look, we don't have all the answers, but damn, I'm telling you, like, hook me up to a lie detector, whatever you want to do, I promise I'll pass, because I absolutely know my beliefs, and I know the other people would too, and that's what's so great about this community, is that as much as I would love for people to understand me more, I realize that it's really not about the people to understand, it's about us to understand, and for us to understand God.
It's about the Creator, Supreme Creator,
yes.
and I'm glad Armor Up is here, so he can help us out understand what the soul is and how it moves. Our memories are the ones that are moving. That's why you saw the trash bins, and 1 week, it was different. It didn't change. You're the one that moved. Your conscience, your memory. I call this event the rapture of the mind, the rapture of the soul. Your body's not moving, because this avatar has to stay here on this planet because of the air and the chemtrails and the gravity. Your avatar stays here. You cannot bring your avatar from the Sagittarius arm to the Orion, because he'll die. It's more fragile over there. And I believe the rapture, Splatter says that he doesn't believe in the rapture. I agree with him, because the bodies never disappear. But the mind and the soul are the ones that are moving, the memories. That's why we see the changes. That's why we were selected to be here to help this negative planet. This planet is run by Satan, but the reason I'm speaking
it's
now
definitely a darker world.
We have to realize.
I feel
the reason I'm speaking now is because we are stronger. We are affected by God. We are God's light. We have His power to change things and manipulate things. That's why I made, like you said, you had the courage to speak out and start up the channel. I did 60 videos. And I can't even speak the English language, but
you're doing great.
But
no, you're doing great.
I just have to get this message out to help people out. It's not the things changing. You're just looking at a different Bible from a different apostle, from a different earth, because you're on the Orion spur and you're reading a different Bible, not changed.
That explains. No, I understand. And like, as I would sit down and ponder this, man, so many times I would ponder what all this meant, what this means, as far as, what consciousness is and where I am consciously, and well, absolutely, of course. But, I've often wondered this, because, I ponder like, well, how things are so different here. Obviously the landmass is shifting, and the things. What's weird is that I can tell you, since I've been doing this for 4 years, is that I constantly, and I know Noble will agree, and Fizzy, and probably Armor Up, that we constantly see shifts happening all the time, still to this day. So it's not like we haven't stopped, adjusting to whatever's taking place. It seems like it's still going on, but it's weird because it comes in waves. And I also have learned that I do believe that we're learning secrets about the very nature of where we are, as far as Earth and the whatever you want to call it, Earth 2.0. Let's call it that, whatever. But at least here, I know that it does feel like we are in a lower vibrational state than my last place. So I feel like, oddly enough, though, who knows, I'll just, talk on that level. Let's just say the other Earth, whatever, there's other things going on there. Well, it might be worse. I don't know. maybe
Yes.
Hillary Clinton is president.
Yes.
I don't know. No, just kidding. All kidding aside, but
Trump was president, like,
well,
he was winning over there.
Yeah, she might be. You never know. I mean, I don't know. I mean, you never know what's happening over there. Yeah.
It's like, what happened? And the more I listen to your shows, Long Eagle, Moneybags, ripping on the rabbit, or I listen to all the shows, and I just put my clues together. And this is my ideas, my spiritual journey. When I was a kid, I was there when I saw the yellow sun. Nobody can erase that memory. I ate Fruit Loops. I saw the movie. Nobody can erase my memory, because we can't. We cannot erase what we see.
Here's the thing that I knew. Yeah. Listen, I'm here to tell you, man, there's no reason why I was ever so drawn. I know I can tell you this, like, for whatever reason, I was drawn to the pyramids. I was drawn to look at them. I was drawn to study them. I was drawn to look at the stars. Every night when I'd walk outside, I couldn't wait. I would look up before I get in the car and just take a mental picture of where things were in the sky and how they looked and the general layout of certain constellations. Okay. One being, oddly enough, and I said this, for whatever reason, Orion was just my thing. Orion's nebula, looking through the telescope and seeing that, I used to just think that was the most beautiful thing ever. Seeing the little star. I mean, it was beautiful. You could see the purple and it was really amazing. It's slight, a little bit, you could see a little color. And I remember looking at this constellation and looking at in the sky, and I knew the size and general location of it almost on a nightly basis. And then I remember Saturn being super bright in my world. I remember Saturn and Jupiter being so bright, like Venus bright.
Yeah, I remember Polaris being the North Star, and now it's missing. I look at the north side of the world, and it's like, where's Polaris at? There's no North Star. It's like,
what do you mean?
What the
Polaris?
Heck,
Of course it's Polaris.
Yeah.
What are you trying to tell me? There's no Polaris?
There's no North Star. Everywhere you get lost in the mountains, you look at the North Star. There is no North Star over here. Not that I know, and I haven't found it so far. It's been years.
What is the North Star? I'm gonna freak out if you tell. All right.
I can't find it. The brightest star, the first star that comes up was the North Star.
So you're saying
was named Polaris.
Yeah. Okay. So you're saying that the Polaris, it's not that it doesn't exist. You're saying it's in the wrong portion. Yeah. Well, that was just I
come from a different Sagittarius armed planet. My Sagittarius had New Zealand on the 10 o'clock on the left side of Australia, not on the right side or not on the bottom, just like it is now. My New Zealand Sydney was the capital, and it was on the left side on the 10 o'clock. I have testimonies. I got it on my videos and everything. And that's what I remember. So I've been comparing and calling everybody in the chats and everybody that there's only one person that came from my planet. And that's when I determined that there's other Earths and me inside of them. And now I'm in a different avatar. We're moving because our memories are recording. Right now, they're recording everything that we're here. That's one thing the Supreme Creator did not give us a reset button to erase our brains. If we experience a traumatic experience, that stays for our rest of our lives. We can never forget that unless you get on drugs and smoke weed. But, is that you cannot forget things. That's why the Mandela effect is so powerful. It's because you see one thing, it's like, I remember the other way. Why did it change? But no, it didn't change. You're the one that changed. You're the one that moved. Your memory came with you in a different, to this avatar that is hit right now. Your soul moved. And that's when I found out that the Supreme Creator is alive, is powerful, and he is in charge, and he is the one that's creating this Mandela effect. But Satan, it says in the Bible, he's creating this delusion, and he's tricking us to believe it changed. The world changed. the Ford logo changed. That's a lie. The Bible never changed. You're reading a different Bible.
That's interesting.
I know.
I'm not willing. I'm not saying that can't be the case. I'm not saying it because like I said on screen right here, this is, I'm going to tell you, this is what's weird. So of course, obviously people will argue, well, maybe we're not living in a galaxy, and they'll question space and NASA. And I understand those questions. I do. But just from what I remember though, okay, people, we have Milky Way. All right. The configuration of the Milky Way was different. But I do remember us being on the outer edge. Okay, I absolutely remember the seeing the poster and growing up, and now look at it, we're totally different. So here's the weirdest part: is oddly enough, now whether all that's true or not is not really the point. What the point is that I remember an Orion in the sky. This is a typical version of what you see now of Orion. This is how big it is. It's absolutely massive. If I were to draw these three little dots right here, I don't know if you can see that on screen. It's probably hard to see. But these three little dots would be about the size of the belt. So the entire Orion constellation in the sky, in my sky, every day, literally on a nightly basis, looking at the sky, it would, it'd be a little area about up here, like this area. This thing looks massively bigger. And when I first saw this, I'm going to